Hello everyone. I'm here in the SM Mall of Asia. It's the biggest mall in all of Asia. So I've read and so I've heard. So I'm in Manila, the Philippines. And it happens to be around 10 p.m., which is closing time. But I just still wanted to show you what it looks like. This mall is absolutely humongous. I'm here in this an area called, I believe it's called Cyber Zone, and this is where I bought my new phone, which I'm using right now, and I bought some accessories for the phone. So this very well may be one of the best places in all of Manila to buy electronics, at this mall, SM Mall of Asia. And basically this mall is composed of 3 different buildings. And it literally would probably take me at least 1 hour to walk around the entire mall. Maybe 2 hours or more, I have no idea. The mall is absolutely humongous. So it's called the SM Mall of Asia. There are many SM malls in Manila. I think SM is a big company. Okay, so I was just in Cyber Zone, and you'll see a sign for that in just a moment here. Okay, so you see Cyber Zone. And although it's 10 o'clock, this phone that I have, which happens to be an S9 Plus, it does seem to take very good night photos. And that's quite fantastic. So I'm just gonna kind of roam around randomly, showing you different parts of this mall. And as a random aside, this lady, I forgot her name, but this actress, she's an actress, and you'll basically see her picture all over the place. Like, she's a super famous actress who endorses lots of products. Okay, so here's a McDonald's, and I'm gonna try to make my selfie stick a bit taller if I can. Well, I'll just leave it as is. Okay, so there's a McDonald's, and before walking across this bridge, I want to show you different parts of the mall. So the selfie stick I have, it's not that good. Hopefully I'll get a new selfie stick soon. But I'll deal with what I have. Okay, so I'm going to cross to another building. So as I mentioned, this mall is not just one building. It's composed of, I believe, 3 buildings. So I've heard from someone else. I just want to walk around. It's okay?
No, it's close.
Okay. But one thing, so 10 o'clock is around the closing time. But one thing that should be open is the supermarket. Actually, at the bottom it's called hypermarket. It's so big, they call it a hypermarket. Here we go. So now, a little bit better view. So this video camera seems to auto-adjust very well. It's amazing. Okay, so below me are a bunch of small restaurants at the bottom and some random stores. So there's a lot of different sort of districts. This here might be like a music district because I see some music stores by each other. There's a Bose in some other music place. I was in the cyber area for several hours today, picking out the phone, buying accessories, stuff like that. Yeah, so let's try to see if I can walk into this area, this fitness zone. Oh, looks like they've already locked it. Okay, and as I mentioned before, this lady, so I guess her name is Lisa Soberano. You'll see her picture everywhere. I've seen her. She endorses Domino's Pizza. She endorses, of course, this company, and she endorses many more. So she must be a very wealthy actress, just due to the endorsements. So walking around a bit more. As I mentioned, this is a bit late, so you might not be able to see that well, but because I was already here and I really wanted to make a video, I'm making a video right now, and for your entertainment and also just so that you could see this place without necessarily having to come here. And notice on my left, there's a security guard with a shotgun. So there are many security guards in the Philippines. You'll see them everywhere. Many of them are armed. And I've talked about this in other videos that I've made. Yeah, so it looks like I guess I've done a full walk around. So I see the McDonald's here. But what I do want to do is go down to the first level and show you around different places. I could take the bridge just behind me going towards the ocean side. And there's actually a Ferris wheel and some kind of amusement park. But mainly I want to show you this mall. And as a random aside, you'll see a lot of signs you'll see in English and Chinese. Okay, so like I said, it's so big, they call it a hypermarket. So they definitely, everything is big here. So the biggest mall in Asia, they have a hypermarket. And I actually shopped there yesterday. And maybe I'll show you the inside of there too. Okay, so I'm on the ground level. And unfortunately, a lot of the places are closed. But nevertheless, and this here is is interesting to me, an Irish potato place. So Ireland's proverb says, there are two things in life that cannot be joked about, marriage and potatoes. So potatoes used to be extremely important in Irish people's diets, but now less so. There was even a potato famine in the 1800s. You can read about it on Wikipedia. But we're here in the Philippines, so I'm going to talk about this here. Okay, so there's a Dunkin' Donuts there. There's a Indo-Malay food place. Chinese food place. Okay, and even that way, there are some more restaurants, but I don't want to stray too far away from here because one, this place is ginormous, and two, I know this area. I've only been here one time before, which was yesterday, but at least I'm semi-familiar with this area. I don't want to go too far away. Okay. So here there's a Starbucks on the right. There's here a Zippo place. I believe this is a brand for lighters. And interestingly, I've noticed here in the Philippines, not just this mall, but other malls as well, they've been getting ready for Christmas for quite some time. Even 1 month ago, I think I saw people getting ready for Christmas already. So these here look like Christmas trees or lights, Christmas lights. I don't think these are Christmas trees, but they are trees on which they put Christmas lights. Okay, I guess I forgot to mention, here's a Krispy Kreme.
Yes, it's closer.
Okay. Okay, but I'm still gonna be walking around. I guess most security guards now wouldn't let me walk inside the well, much of the malls, but there's still outside stores and the hypermarket, which is open. So TGI Fridays. It's a famous restaurant. I don't know what this is, but it's a cool statue of a bear named Tom, apparently. Okay, so across the street, looks like looks like an amusement park. I'm not sure if there's an amusement park on both sides or if just one. But you can see in the background there's a Ferris wheel. And evidently right in front of me is a taxi. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but it says Grab taxi driver. And Grab is a taxi app. So if you want to come to the Philippines, I recommend you download the Grab app. Then you can get a taxi much more easily. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk around sort of randomly around these restaurants. So here's some Chinese food. And you can see the Ferris wheel there a bit more. There's a restaurant here that I like very much. It's called Pepper Lunch. Or I've not been to this one specifically, but it's a franchise. Okay, so I can show you. I'm gonna walk up here. Just so you believe me, there were no signs that showed where it said Mall of Asia, but here it does say Mall of Asia, SM Mall of Asia. So, there you go, SM Mall of Asia. And this is definitely one of the best malls I've been in the Philippines. It might just be the best. Probably I'd say it's the best. But I've seen so little of it because it's so huge. But I came here initially to buy a new phone, and I got a decent deal, not a great deal, but probably it was the best place I could have gotten. One of the best places I could have gone to in the Philippines. Okay, so although this is closed, There is a cinema here. And I have a good friend who's a big fan of Johnny English. So if you're watching this, buddy, Johnny English. Okay, so I'm just walking around this sort of U-shaped thing. Okay, so what I wanted to do is to show you the outside of Pepper Lunch. I made a foodie video for Pepper Lunch at a mall called Century City Mall in Makati. That was, I don't know when I did that, but that was a few days ago or a few weeks ago. Here's Pepper Lunch. And Pepper Lunch is basically a modern Japanese place. It's kind of a fusion between Western and Japanese, but it's from Japan. Okay, so well, since we have a good view here, I might as well keep walking and show you this Ferris wheel. And oh wow, Bulgogi Brothers. That's a great name for a restaurant, in my opinion. Bulgogi Brothers. Because I love bulgogi, so I think that's a great name for a restaurant. Okay, here's a shabu shabu place. See if the camera will auto zoom. Maybe not. Here's an Italian restaurant. And that's probably pretty tasty. Go there. And here's the Ferris wheel. So it looks like the amusement part is still going on. I mean, there's some rides still operating. Okay, now if I have time, I'd like to show you the outside of the hypermarket. Excuse me, where's the hypermarket? That and then down. Oh, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna continue walking back. And I wanted to show you the huge supermarket. They call it a hypermarket. So they one-upped super, they made it hyper. Okay, so on the right looks like basically high-class Filipino cuisine. This here is I like that logo. Looks like just Japanese food. I'll show you this little sign there. Okay, so moving on. So we gotta go down in order to see the hypermarket. Excuse me, sir. Where's the hypermarket? Okay, so this is quite a bit of a walk. But I still want to show you. And I hope you can tell the video I'm making right now, it should be much higher quality than previous videos I've made because I'm using a much better camera. Okay, I'll just take the escalator going down. This is an area I've not really been in, but there's a restaurant called KKK. Restaurant here called Dennis the Grill Boy. I'm not sure if that's based off of the TV show, the Dennis the Menace. Here's a barbecue place. Here's a Greenwich. I believe this is a pizza place. And I made a foodie video before of Jollibee. Of a Jollibee. But this is yet another Jollibee. Jollibees are everywhere in the Philippines. Jollibee is a fast food place. Okay, so I'm still looking for the hypermarket. I think I'm gonna have to ask a security guard where the hypermarket is. Oh, excuse me, where's the hypermarket? It's very close?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I guess we don't have that much to go. Again here, passing a... oh, I think we do have to cross the street. We're passing the Starbucks. We just passed the Krispy Kreme. There's a Happy Lemon place across. And as for why you might want to come to a mall like this, besides it being the biggest mall in Asia, which is kind of cool to say that you went to such a place, I think generally you'll find that products here are much more likely to be real, legitimate, not fake. Because you probably, if you come to the Philippines, you probably could easily get defrauded, or someone selling you some goods, but they're actually fake. But here, probably they're real. Can't guarantee that, but there's a much higher chance that it's real here than in other places, in my opinion. Okay, here, this is kind of cute in my opinion. So, fortunately, I can't go in, but I'll at least show you the outside. So here is a cute panda, and as I mentioned, in the Philippines, they get ready for Christmas pretty early. So there's 67 days to go until Christmas 2018. Okay. So I can see the hypermarket. But before I go, I just want to show you some of the outside of the restaurants here. So I've seen a few of these in Manila. Yellow Cab, pizza company. It's a spaghetti place. And just looks like some more restaurants. But now I want to just walk into the hypermarket. And I'll probably end the video here. But I would say that the hypermarket, it's nice, and there's a bakery in here. It's got pretty much anything you would want food-wise. They also sell clothing. So the security guard let me walk in, which was great. Okay, this is the bakery I was talking about. I came here yesterday. It was pretty tasty. So I just want to show you a little bit of this place. Maybe it's not ginormous. I don't know if this is worthy of being called a hypermarket, or maybe you would think it is worthy. But it's nevertheless quite big inside. So, just showing you, I'll walk down and show you some aisles and then end the video here. So if you notice here, there's a lot of signs actually in Chinese and English. Which I found quite interesting. And they have Halloween stuff they're selling. And this here looks like the produce section. And there's some seafood also. Here, I'll show you that. This here is a durian. Is an extremely delicious fruit, in my opinion. Some people can't stand the smell. It has quite an odor. But if you ever come to Asia, I recommend you try some durian. Okay, so here you can see some fish. Sometimes they'll have fish in little, I can't think of the word, little aquariums or whatever the heck you call them. Can't think of the word. But sometimes they'll let you literally pick out the fish while it's still alive and they'll prepare it for you. Okay. And here you can see there's all kinds of different types of rice. So rice very well may be the, I don't know this for certain, but I know it's at least one of the top 5 staple foods. It might be the number 1, I don't know, but it's interesting here. You can buy so many types of rice. And even you can basically bag your own rice. So there's some seafood in there. On the right, looks like some kind of small restaurants. So at most markets like this, you could find almost any kind of food that you would find in other countries. But I have noticed though that imported food does seem to be a little bit expensive. And the phone I bought today was more expensive than if I had bought it in, for example, Hong Kong or Singapore or Malaysia. Because in those places I could have gotten my tax back or it would have been no tax. But here, there's a value-added tax, which makes the phone more expensive. But I didn't mind paying because I needed a new phone very badly. I mean, I didn't mind paying a little extra for tax because I didn't want to wait until I was in a different country. Okay, so here again you have pretty much everything that you would want. And as I mentioned before, a lot of the signs are in English and Chinese. So it's almost like they delegate Tagalog and Filipino as like basically just like a spoken language for locals, but in big places it's very rare to see Tagalog or Filipino written. So English, you'll see English everywhere in Philippines, and more you'll see signs in Chinese as well. Okay, so anyway, this place, this is a clothing area. So I've walked across most of this hypermarket. Oh, and there's also a Watson's pharmacy. That's very nice. So across there. And Watson's is a brand from Hong Kong. And I believe it's owned effectively by the richest man in Hong Kong through one of his companies. Though I think that he's stepped down and retired recently. But in any case, Watson's is a Hong Kong brand. Okay, so this, as a recap, this video was basically walking around the Mall of Asia at closing time for most of the mall. I started this video around 10 p.m. So most of the stores in the mall were closing, but this hypermarket is open until midnight, I believe, so I could show you this. I showed you some of the ocean side, though I didn't walk along the ocean side. You could see the Ferris wheel. And anyway, so this was the Mall of Asia, SM Mall of Asia, and so I've heard it claimed the biggest mall in all of Asia. And this mall is definitely massive. So, and it seems to be very well run. Lots of modern stores, modern brands. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and finally, if you want to leave a comment, feel free to do so. Thank you.